Hello, this is Annette with Project Refine Life. Welcome to my channel and the October 2024 monthly wrap-up. I know, guys, this is coming to you guys really late. I took a fall at the beginning of November and I'm still not up and around, so this is only the second video of the month in November. Getting to the point where I can come out to my desk a little bit more now. Hopefully things will be a little bit more on track going forward, but you know, just doing what I can every single day. I'm gonna kind of speed through this month because being here isn't really my most comfortable thing, but you know, it's necessary. It's part of the PT. So in October, I started a 3-month shadow work challenge that is offered through the online yoga class that I take. And it's 3 months worth. Every month has a specific focus. So the month of October is or was fear, November is the shadow, and December are the archetypes. And it has been a really, really amazing thing for me to work through. It has really gone well. Part of the thing that really attracted me to doing this 3-month shadow work challenge was, for one, there was always a practice that was attached to that specific day, specific readings that you're doing every single day or throughout the week, and then taking a moment to really contemplate what's going on within what you're feeling and thinking and how you're navigating through it. So it has just been an amazing, amazing journey. It really has. At this point, when I'm recording this video, we're towards the end of November, and I am still 100% in on this challenge, even though at this point, physically, I'm not able to do the physical practice. I am able to do the meditations. I am able to observe the practice itself because everything's online. And it is still very strong within me. And looking at the poses and the meditations and doing the breath work, it has really been amazing. But this is my journal for the month of October. Now, as I was saying, one of the main things that really attracted me to this challenge was the fact that one of the books that she is using as really the cornerstone of this program is The Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa, Pinkola, Estes. I love this book. Absolutely love this book. And this is a real opportunity to really dig into those stories on another level with some additional questions and just thoughts that really make me dig in. And when I was teaching, because at the moment I'm not teaching, but when I was teaching through the month of October, I was really posing these questions and bringing them into light for my classes, which were really digging in for a lot of people within my classes. And I was just loving the work of it. And I'm really kind of sad that in November, none of that is going on, but more that will be covered within the November wrap-up and everything else. But this is what really was really pulling for me to be able, because I love this book. It's one of my favorites. So to be able to work with it in a different capacity has been fantastic. I really, really adore this book. And even though the story of La Loba, within this book, was not even supposed to be worked with until November, which I am still working with La Loba. I went ahead, because I love that story, I went ahead and dug in even at the beginning, right in October, and just started working with La Loba right away. And I'm still working with her. I just love it. Okay, let's get into what's new within my collection. I backed one deck, and it is the Folklore Forrest Tarot by the same creator as the Peculiar Pathways Tarot and the Coastal Curiosities Oracle deck. Lennox Rees created this tarot deck, which was really just meant for her. But she started sharing pictures on Instagram. And everybody started asking like, hey, are you going to release this? And then she kind of was like, well, do you want me to release it? And everybody was on it. So that was one deck that I did back within the month of October. And seriously, I really have not backed that many decks this year. I've been really careful with Kickstarter and actually just trying to stay away from it altogether. So there's only been a couple. This here, Phases and Forest Oracle. This is by the same creator as the Roots and Wings deck. You guys. You know, I kind of held back a little bit. I kind of waited. I didn't do it. I didn't back it. I saw it come out. I saw people working with it. I kept looking at the images. I love that one. And interestingly enough, it's called Story of Your Bones. Beautiful. This deck has been amazing. I'm going to get into what I've been working with it alongside throughout the month, but this is one of the decks that I did get within the month of October, and I am really happy that I did. This is turning out to be just such a phenomenal deck. So that was it, just 2 decks. Now, as far as books are concerned, this was some of the reading material for my shadow school, is what it's called actually, for month 1, and it's Fierce Medicine by Anna T. Forrest. Anna T. Forrest is a creator of Forrest Yoga, and I have to say I have not read the whole book. I have read little bits and pieces. I have throughout time always practiced some of her yoga techniques as well. So I kind of included her methods in my yoga classes within the month of October, and it's a very empowering book. So I do enjoy it. I do intend to, now that I have extra time, I do intend to continue to read through that. Another book that I got, I found it on sale, and I'd wanted this book for quite some time. The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. This is an amazing book. I've always picked it up when we go to Barnes & Noble and read little bits and pieces, and I just thought, you know what? It's time. So I put it in my basket on Amazon, and when it was available at a good price, I picked it up. This is another one. This book is by Anodea Judith, and if you're familiar with her, she writes a lot of the chakra type books, chakra yoga type things, but this is Eastern Body, Western Mind. And again, another amazing book. I've just kind of dipped my toe into it. I haven't really sat down and read it, but I've got extra time now, so some of the books that are on my list. Okay, as far as items, I did buy this little cute thing. Let me just show you right here. This is a copalero. So this is where you burn copal in, but it's like a mini version. I have a much bigger version downstairs on my altar, but I went to a Dia de los Muertos festival in Mesa, Arizona, and this was there, so I had to pick it up. It's so cute. I really don't think that I can burn copal in this because it's so small, and copal really heats up. You need to use a charcoal disc, but what I've been doing is I just take a little sprig of my sage, do my saging, or I hold it right here by the handle and move it around my body, and it's coming really handy. So, and I love having this on my desk or by me because it's just so easy to navigate. So that's one of the things that I bought. And what else? What else? I did buy some cute little cups, but I'm gonna have to show those to you guys next month because they're downstairs and I haven't been downstairs in about a week. So anyhow, that's what I have as far as what's new and then what I'm working with right now, and that is the Shadow School, and I'll be working with that through the month of December. Of course, here's my monthly focus. So my monthly focus, we were still within the Hispanic History Month, so I was still working with decks that really felt like they were in that area or created by somebody of Hispanic origin. And then Shadow School, I was really focused on breath work as well, because I shared this with you guys a couple of months ago, and this is Breath by James Nestor. I finished this book within the month of October. Can I tell you guys, if you are interested in the power of breath and how it works within your body, get this book. And if you are on Spotify, if you have a premium membership in Spotify, you can listen to this book for free, included with your premium membership. This is a great book. It really gives you food for thought when it talks about and referring to working with the breath, and how some doctors and different people looking into breath and all the way back to Buddhist. It's an amazing book. I can't even get into all of it right now because my head's kind of in a cloud, but this is a fantastic book. Let me know if you've read this book. But in the back, you can find all of this online, by the way, as far as meditations and also breath work as well. But in the back, if you get this book, there are basic breath techniques. So yogic breathing, box breathing, breathing and walking, 4-7-8 breathing. I know breathing and walking, right? Sounds silly, but you know, it's purposeful. 4-7-8 breathing. So there's a few little things for you to go over there. And Tumu breath, and there's bees breath, and there's all kinds of good information in this book. So maybe even check your library. If you're interested, check your library. They might have it. Anyhow, I love this book. It is so, so good. All right, so, and then also ancestral work. I kind of started into that, and it was going to kind of lead into November, but we'll talk about that in November. Okay, so I kind of just flipped through my journal, and let me tell you, my journal was just alive in the month of October. It was alive and breathing, and I was really loving. I'm just so in love with working with my journal right now. You know, there's that Substack that's called Journal as Altar, and when I did one of her workshops to begin with, that really kind of changed my focus as far as how I work with my journal and what I'm doing in my journal, and allowing it to be a living, breathing representation of how and what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. And it's come to the point where I really want it next to me throughout the day. I really want it next to me, and sometimes I'll go in and cut out little things and put them in, or use my markers to kind of highlight things. I mean, I am loving working with my journals. It came at just the right time to be so engrossed in working with this. It has been amazing, but yeah, my journals have been amazing. Okay. So now that I've kind of flipped through the journals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some of my favorite pairings for the month. So we have the Curious Travels Tarot deck. I got this a few months back, maybe 3, I think. You know, when you first look at this deck, you think, oh, it's cute. It's a very pretty deck. I love the drawings. I love the fact that there's like this little gold foiling in there. There's some little bling that highlights certain things within each card. But can I tell you that this deck has been amazing for shadow work. amazing. It has been like just to the point, not hard, not bad, but open and honest. And there's just enough. If you're looking at it initially, like when I looked at it initially, I thought, oh, that's kind of a bright and cheery deck. But you know what? It's really not. Like here at Temperance, there's a little bit more color and liveliness within this particular card. But if you look at the deck overall, like it has some depth within it. I really like this deck. I am so glad that I got this because it really has filled another area within my tarot collection. That I do have a couple of shadow decks, but this one is different where it sheds light, but yet, you know, it's open and it's direct, and it just kind of helps walk you through some of the things that that we need walking through with. So I paired it up with two things, and I'm just kind of rambling there. Hold on a second here. So I want to share with you my favorite pairings for this deck within the month of October. And that is the Wisdom de Alma. I've talked to you guys about this deck before as well. This deck is an affirmation deck. And you would think, looking at the front as well, that it's kind of like rainbows and butterflies. But when you turn it over and you read, it's really quite open and quite honest. And it is one of these decks that kind of kicks you in the butt. Not in a bad way, but in a healthy way, in a healthy conversation that's not BSing you. And I really do like this deck. Some of the messages are a little bit more positive, but a lot of these are really kind of like, get off your butt, girl, you know, move, do what you need to do. And I really did like the overall art style, and that this one has a lot of white within the background, and then the Curious Travels deck has a lot of white. So I don't know, this was a really good combination. And I think I shared that on the walkthrough with Curious Travels. I think I shared this deck, I believe. I can't remember. But I know one of the decks that I didn't share as a possible pairing was the Roots and Wings Oracle. Roots and Wings, you guys, this was so good together, because Roots and Wings to me is kind of like more little bit more type of sunshine. So it was kind of that positive message within the reading, because like I said, for me, and I'd like to know if you have the Curious Travels, what do you think? Do you think that it's a really deep deck? Because for me, it really is. And maybe it was just the work that I'm doing. I don't know, but I really do like these two together. And Roots and Wings, it's one of those decks that I would never get rid of, but I hadn't really been pulling it out all that much. And after this month, I'm like, yeah, I love it. That's why I got it. So anyhow, that was a really good combination to have Roots and Wings and the Curious Travels. So if you have both of those, maybe give those a shot. And let me just move over to the next pairing that I have. I'm trying not to make too much of a mess, guys, because I'm gonna have to find a way to put all this away after all of this. Okay, so the next pairing that I really liked working with, and this is a very recent deck as well, the Magical Spirit Oracle. This is another deck that I put off, and I've always liked the art. I just didn't know what I was going to pair this deck with. And I finally broke down and bought it. I think this was a deck that I bought for myself on my son's birthday. I think that's what I did. But anyhow, I paired it up with a couple of decks. And this is the Pocket of Vines. So here we have the Pocket of Vines Tarot, and I'm sorry because I know that this is out of print, so I do apologize, but look at this. The energy of these two was amazing, and I really like the art style overall. I like the tones together. This is really becoming like one of my favorite pairings. I really like this, and I think with the Pocket of Vines, I think I was having a little bit of trouble to really pairing it up with something that made sense for it, because it's kind of a snappy deck as well. And so this offers a little bit more tenderness within the overall reading. So that's the Pocket of Vines Tarot. And another deck, like at first when I got it, I thought, oh, is this gonna work for me? And it really does. I really do like this deck. It's a really cool deck. And the other deck that I paired it up with is the Magical Creatures Tarot. Magical Creatures, this is the same creator as Northern Animal Tarot. Northern Animal Tarot sits very high up on my list, like seriously. One of the top decks that I've ever had. I love the first edition. So the Magical Creatures Tarot is her follow-up deck, and it has more of like a fae and fairy type essence. There's dragons and unicorns and all these things that I don't have in any other decks. And then this one being the Magical Spirit, I really love the way that they worked out together as well, because this is a lot of people here, a lot of faces, a lot of bodies. And so it just kind of felt really, really good together. I really like these two. Again, another pairing that just really made a lot of sense for me. And her decks, Northern Animal and the Magical Creatures, you know, I was just watching a video from, oh my gosh, who was it? Shanadi. And she was saying that Northern Animal felt like a very winter deck. And I agree. For me, Northern Animals and even Magical Creatures, it feels like fall. It feels like winter. It feels like you're going within. Even though I'm sitting here in Arizona and we're going to get close to 80 degrees today. But anyhow, all right. So let's get on to the next deck. So, Phases and Forrest. As I mentioned earlier, I really enjoy this deck. This is amazing. I love it. I paired it up with, and this might seem like an unlikely pairing, but for me, again, maybe it's the work that I'm doing right now with doing Shadow School. I paired it up with the Somnia Tarot, the Illustrated Edition. I have both editions. I have the regular one, which I really love, the photograph one, but I did get the Illustrated Edition, and I felt like these two really spoke so well together. But this deck, Phases and Forrest, oh my gosh, you guys, it pairs so well with so many decks. I feel like I need to do a video and just pull out all the decks that I feel like it pairs well with. There was just something about this particular deck that just is amazing to me. I just love it. I love the keyword or the title and the phrase that it has. And it just seems to come up with the exact right card when I'm pulling or doing a reading, or you know, trying to pull into a certain intention, looking for a specific answer. It's amazing. I really like it. And I really like these two together, which again, this deck, the Somnia Tarot, you know, it's a deeper deck, but I do like the Illustrated Edition and having both, because I feel like the photography version of this feels a lot deeper. To me, it reads differently even than the Illustrated. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why I put this away, because I need to get it out again. Okay, Another deck that that I have not been able to stop talking about as well is the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic. And I think I've shared this combo before, but this again was one of my favorite pairings. And I love that they both have this little archway kind of thing going on. I really like the art styles together. I like the colors together. I like the overall readings. Every little thing you do is magic. Every time I say that, it's just, I can't, I always get confused. But this has been a really great deck. I really like this deck. I love the playlist. And remember, if you have this deck and you want the playlist, or if you don't have the deck and you want the playlist, I'll put a link to my Spotify because I created the playlist on Spotify and you can listen to it there. I love it. I love this combination. So, so good. But this Phases and Forest deck, guys, I don't know. There is something, I like Roots and Wings. I do. But Phases and Forest, guys, there's a deep love there. I really am enjoying Phases and Forest, and I'm just constantly surprised with how many things it works with. Okay, so now let's get to some of the other decks that I use this month in October. The Penumbra Tarot. This deck has come in as kind of a surprise to me as well. This deck was sent to me by Ethany, and it keeps showing up. It keeps coming up. I really like the art in this deck. I really like, this is another one that has a playlist as well. I really like the guidebook because it's just a little bit different the way that it's written. Ethany wrote the guidebook, and then in addition to that, there's little touches from Iris Elizabeth in the guidebook as well. And there's a song for each one. But there's something about the art and the fire about this deck, just this overall space that it helps you kind of ease into when you're feeling like you're kind of out of a specific space. It kind of opens up and gives you some place to be. I don't know if you can understand that whole idea, but oh my goodness, guys, I really like this deck. And this is a little surprising for me because this is not the specific art style that I would navigate towards, but it's hitting all the marks, guys, hitting all the marks. Okay, so for the full moon, I wanted to do a specific ritual here from the ancient ritual postures. So I went through here and I picked, this is the one right here. So I wanted to do some journeying, and so I put on my drum track, I got this card out, I read through it, and then after my little journeying thing, I pulled a couple of cards. So this is the Serpent Fire. And if you're not familiar with the Ancient Rituals deck, the Ancient Rituals deck is an oracle deck that's created out of postures that were used for journeying. And in the guidebook, it walks you through setting up within the posture and the description of the posture and who you're calling on and what you're working on within that posture. It's really a cool book if you like journeying, if you like being within a posture to kind of open you up. I think this is an amazing deck, but I like the vividness of these two together. And I like the idea that I can be within a posture, do a bit of journeying, using this for that opening to that feeling. And then afterwards, after exploring through that journey, coming back and pulling a couple of cards to create a reading. And it was good. It was really good. So again, I really enjoyed working with those two. And in addition to that, as far as my month is concerned, at the end of the month, that's when we start celebrating Dia de los Muertos. Now, Dia de los Muertos is on the 2nd of November. You start, technically you can start on the 31st at midnight and then go on through into the 2nd. But every day starting on the 27th, there is a specific type of energy that you're working with. So on the 27th, it's for your pets. So I pulled a card for my pets, the pets that I used to have, and journaled on that. For the 28th, each day has something. So this is for the lost souls. So again, I was just pulling one card. And then also, I've always been including lately my my yoga, and I really like the addition of that into my journals. So every day there was something different. So for the most part, I was working with, and I have that for something specific here. This is the Dia de los Muertos Oracle. If you are looking for something for next year for Dia de los Muertos, you cannot go wrong with this deck. This is such an amazing deck. It is big. The cards are big, they're thick, but nothing's going to happen to these cards. Like, you're not going to get any smudging on it. This is going to be something that you can keep in your collection, seriously, like forever. And it's not a cash grab kind of a deck. This is the real thing. They know their stuff. They are they're immersed within this lifestyle. So if you are interested, this is the one to get, I think. I really like this deck. And then getting into the end of October, then I kind of cooled down a little bit as far as, like, I was really just feeling what was going on. I did work with Seasons of the Witch, Samhain, and then this combination I felt was like good, and I think I've done this before. I like this combo. So this is the oh my goodness, what am I doing here? This is the Practical Magic Inner Witch Tarot, and I paired it up with the Embroidered Graveyard. Now, the Embroidered Graveyard Oracle is not a deck that I pull out a lot, but I do love working with these two at the end of November. I just feel like the whole vibe is going on, and we were watching so many movies, and it was really, really cool. I really like these two together. So overall, that was my month, guys. That was it. I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate you guys waiting so long for me to get this video out. You guys, I will be back soon. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you later.